I had a pistol quit on me this week. Cold hands, dirty gun, timer running. Not a fluke, mind you. It quit when things got ugly. Today is about buying once and skipping the 6-month regret. My rule is simple. It has to run dirty, it has to run cold, and it has to run on the ammo you can actually find. I'm not grading table specs. I'm grading what keeps your head clear when you're moving, breathing hard, and the gun is wet or dusty. Some favorites will drop if they can't clear that bar. A plain tool might climb because it just keeps eating. I did the boring work. Cold soak, light drops, cheap steel, and decent brass so you don't waste a season learning it the hard way. If a pistol stutters, it's gone. If it passes filthy, it stays. We start at 13 and you'll see exactly why it earned the spot. Failure, fix, and the one reason it won't steal brain power when it matters. I used to shrug this one off. Budget gun, budget headaches. Then I stopped parroting the internet and tried to break it. Simple rule, simple abuse. Quick cold soak, 3 controlled drops onto range grit, then cheap ammo, because that's real life when things get inconvenient. The GX4 didn't flinch. No drama, no babysitting. Draw, settle, press, and done. If you've ever burned a Saturday clearing nonsense stoppages, you know how rare that is. You want specs? Go read a brochure. What matters is whether a pistol steals your brain when your hands are numb and the ammo bin is ugly. This one stayed quiet in my head. Sight came back where I left it. Trigger did what I told it. I wasn't thinking about the gun. I was thinking about the next problem. That's the whole game. But it's a Taurus. Yeah, I had that twitch too. And then the receipts stacked up. Cold, dropped, dusty, bargain bin food, and it just kept cycling. Not cute, not flashy, but useful. And useful is what saves you money, time, and embarrassment. If you're the practical type who actually cares, skipping this now is how you end up buying twice. Keep moving. The standard only gets tougher from here. This is where seconds go to die. First clean build drill today, and the APX A1 knocked .23 off my average. No warm-up, no hero take. That's not brochure magic, that's the buzzer telling the truth. Timer chirps, palms a little slick, cheap brass rattling in a beat-up mag. Draw is honest, sight picture snaps, and the front blade just lives in the center instead of wandering off like a drunk. 2 shots in, I realized I wasn't babysitting the gun, it was babysitting me. That's the difference between looks tactical and lets you think about the next problem. I can already hear it. APX looks weird, rental tier gun. Cool story. The clock doesn't care about pretty serrations. What repeats under stress is what counts, and this thing repeats. Return to 0 is predictable enough that your brain stops flinching before the 4th shot. That's free time, that's free calm. If you choose classes or your carry brain gets loud under a buzzer, this is a buy once tool. It won't steal headspace when you're cold, late, or a little pissed off at late. Pass it now and you'll regret buying for speed later. With ammo, with time, with pride. North wind on a cliche lot, chalky dust rolling off the berm, mesquite needles in your laces. I've been tossing magazines on a tailgate all morning, grit in the feed lips, hoodie snacking the first draw, exactly the kind of Texas day that makes little pistols act stupid. The Hellcat Pro didn't. First press after a cold sit was honest, and the next sight picture was already there instead of hunting. No pampering, no boutique ammo. Just the cheap stuff from the roadside shop off the frontage road and a gun that behaved like it's been hired for real work. It may be too small and too snappy, sure, on a clean bench with warm hands. Out here, that shallow dust eats oil and steals traction. This frame lets your support hand clamp without drama, and the return lands where your eyes are going, not where your nerves want to flinch. Be straight with yourself. Have you ever felt your brain tense because you expect a hiccup the moment the wind kicks? Test it in dirt. If your weekends smell like mesquite and brake dust, prancing the Hellcat Pro is how you end up paying in time and pride to make another gun act right when the weather turns petty. Cold kills pretenders. Another compact started coughing the second the gun got dirty. Lazy feet, that smug little hitch before the slide lies to you. I swapped mid-string to the PDP compact and kept shooting on purpose. Mixed ammo, dusty bench, grit in the mag lips. 0 stoppages, not a pause, not a stutter. That's when reliability stops being a word and turns into oxygen. People nitpick the texture and the optic height, and that's fine. Go shoot fast when you're sweaty, cold, or out of patience. The traction locks your support hand, the return lands where your eyes were already headed, and the rhythm holds instead of wandering off. It feels like the gun's doing its job, so you can do yours. If you actually train with a timer, or your range isn't showroom clean, and it shouldn't be, this saves you months of chasing tens with accessories. Ask yourself one thing. Are you gonna burn double on ammo trying to fix what a better frame gives you for free? Judge it filthy before you judge it. Skip the arguments. When practice looks like a construction site and you still need clean runs, this compact doesn't get cute, it stays useful. Next pick hates cold fingers. I don't usually buy mystery guns, but I bought this one anyway. Crumpled pawn receipt in the visor, sticker ghost on the slide, holster shine up front like it had miles. No cleanup, no lube. Straight to the lane with gas station FMJ. I locked the first 200 rounds before any service. Brass ran clean, one lazy feed on steel during a sloppy mag change, nothing else. The sight settled where I told it to, and the rhythm stayed honest even when the mags looked tired. You ever trust a carry piece before it's earned it? The usual knocks. Small, budget, forgettable. Sounds loud until the notes in your pocket say otherwise. A used gun with an unknown past that behaves through a usual inaugural session doesn't need a defense, it needs a slog in the bag. If your reality is trunk dust, mismatched ammo, and not enough free Saturdays, this is the compact that won't make you pay for ceremony. Forget the polishing ritual and see if it keeps its manners when your schedule doesn't. Bounce it now, and you'll waste a season trying to make a fancier choice act this calm under mess. Next pick buys back time when cold mornings slow you down. You'll feel it on the buzzer. Call it plain if you want. It's the pistol that doesn't wait for you to wake up. 3 separate mornings, first draw to first hit at 7 yards, each shot landing inside a playing card box with only a small spread between best and worst times. When the first shot decides the whole day, what do you trust? Skip this out in 2025 and the regret shows up on cold starts, stubborn hands, slow brain, and a gun that still lands where you asked. That steadiness is why this one matters when you're not your best. I've heard all these talks about basic and everybody has one. Sure, that is until fatigue creeps in and the group refuses to wonder. The frame supports your hand lock without a fuss, the return comes back to center instead of drifting, and the rhythm holds even after the session gets long. You save ammo because you're not chasing mistakes you didn't make. Test it cold over 3 mornings. If your routine includes early alarms, bad coffee, and real-life barging in, this is the insurance policy you actually feel when the timer chirps. Next pick punishes sloppy grips more than you expect. The day I stopped fighting my holster, it wasn't on a square range, it was a grocery run, seat belt digging across the buckle, appendix rig canted a hair too uptight. The first draw printed the grip corner in the sweatshirt and punched skin. User error, sure, but real. I adjusted the clip 1 notch, tucked the shirt deeper, and tried again later in the lot. Clean grip, clean press. The VP9SK behaves like it understands clothes and seat belts without asking you to be a contortionist. Inside the lane, I ran a handful of concealment draws with the same rig, then hopped back in the truck and tested it while seated and belts on. No snag on the return, no awkward reholster mouth wrestling your shirt, and the first sight picture didn't need a pep talk. That's where this short slide earns space in the safe. People call it chunky for carry, which is fine, but the geometry plays nice with fabric, and the grip gives you something you can actually grab when life is folded around you. Leave out the internet arguments and fix what matters: the ride height, the clip angle, the tuck. The moment you can stop thinking about the holster, this pistol starts behaving like a responsible adult. The next gun on this list rewards rough hands and long days. Boring is what people say before the target tattles. With the M&P 2.0 Compact, at the end of a long session, the wrists are a little used and the grip isn't perfect. I ran a 25-shot string at 7 to 10 yards, marked first 5, middle 15, and last 5. Pulled the paper, and the whole story lived inside a palm-sized cone. The tail end didn't wander from the start. That's the difference between finishing honest and burning ammo trying to reel shots back. Ever catch your last string drifting sideways when fatigue sneaks in? Skip this and you'll spend evenings chasing that drift instead of closing your day clean. It isn't about hype, it's the M&P 2.0 Compact letting your support hand clamp the same way on shot 25 as shot 1, with a return that delivers center shots even when you're tired and a little impatient. That steadiness saves time, saves pride, and keeps your shots boring, but in the best way. Test it at the end of your longest day. If your practice includes fatigue, and it should, this is the compact that stays collected when the session does its worst. The harder sessions are coming, so show up ready. Let's sort rumor from reality. The local counter person said, "These come back." And I said, "Cool. Good thing I got paper with me and not opinions." 400 mixed rounds, cheap notebook, no part swap, no fairy dust. The brass ran clean, the steel got its turn. One lazy feed on a sloppy reload. I locked it, repeated the drill clean, and moved on. That's the whole point. When shelves are thin and your ammo bins a patchwork, does the pistol behave itself? Ever trusted a counter story more than a receipt? Here's the part that no one likes to admit. You skip a gun because somebody behind the glass said a sentence, and then you spend over a month trying to make the safer pick run this calm on the same ugly ammo. All of that is time, rounds, and confidence that you won't get back. Bring a pad and log your next session. If the gun goes cycle after cycle instead of making excuses, well, then you have your answer. Judge the Elite SR by its action and not gossip. Passing it because of chatter, that's how buyer's remorse actually starts. The next pick is something that turns recoil into rhythm. Parking lot reps, seat belt across the gun, hoodie tugging at the grip. First draw printed, pinched skin, felt sloppy. I nudged the clip a notch, tucked deeper, stayed seated, and ran 5 draws to an A zone at 5 to 7 yards. 4 clean first presses, 1 recoverable fumble. Ever try to clear a belt when the sweatshirt wants to fight you? Pass over the 75B and you'll be wrestling fabric on bad days instead of getting a sight you can trust right now. The steel frame doesn't beg for sympathy. It sits still, lets your hand land the same way, and the first picture arrives without a pep talk. I've heard too heavy and too dated often. Say that standing up. It disappears when you're buckled in. The weight anchors against the belt so the grip doesn't skitter and the reholster doesn't chew your shirt on the return. That's the whole point. Calm access, clean first press, no drama from the seat. You can test it seated and belted. If your reality includes grocery runs and red lights, this is how you stop paying a tax to your holster and start getting honest first shots from inside the car. Next one prefers lint over polish. 2 weeks of real carry with zero cleaning. Lint strings on the slide, road dust in the holster, seat belt rubbing the grip. I walked straight to the line and ran a post-carry session of 200 rounds mixed with a junk drawer. Brass ran clean, one soft feed on steel during a sloppy reload, noted, repeated, and gone. No pampering, no swap parts, no victory laps. Just a pistol dealing with the life we actually live. Ever pull a carry gun after weeks of neglect and wonder if it keeps its manners? Run it filthy first. People call this one dated or awkward when they judge from a clean bench. Out in the ordinary mess, jacket fuzz, pocket grit, long day on the road. It behaved like it had been there before. The notebook stayed boring in the best way. Cycle, 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 and then finish your business. Our next entry likes heat more than polish. Ignore this today, and you trade calm for tinkering when the crutch shows up. After work, the bay turns gray and first shots disappear. I ran 10 draws to one honest hit at 7 to 10 yards as the light went flat. 8 landed clean before the sun quit. Not a sprint, just the pace you keep when your hands are blunt and your brain is lousy. Ever watch your opening shot evaporate the second the shadows wash the target? That's where this frame earns its keep. The sight shows up without hunting, the return doesn't wander, and the first shot stops feeling like a coin toss. Walk past it now, and you'll burn evenings chasing the same confidence with boxes of ammo and nothing to show but tired eyes. Competition toy is what detractors say until dusk shows up. Under thin light, the picture settles sooner, and the follow-up doesn't ask for pep talks. You get calm instead of guesswork. That calm saves reps, saves pride, and gives you one less thing to worry about when the range clock is working against you. You can test it at dusk. If your week means late lanes and winter skies, this is the one that keeps the first shot honest while everything else gets noisy. The final pick forgives the cold starts that you have. 2 weeks of real carry with zero cleaning. Pocket lint on the slide cuts, road dust in the holster. I stepped into a cold morning and drew straight from the rig. First press at 7 landed where I called it. No warm-up, no pep talk. The second side picture was waiting before my fingers fully believed the weather. Ever pull your carry gun after 2 ugly weeks and wonder if it'll still behave? People argue features when the day is easy. Real life isn't. The X macro stayed calm after the lint, after the seatbelt rub, after the overnight chill makes hands lie. That calm is what saves you time and ammo when your routine gets petty, and that's why this sits at the top. If your schedule looks like work, errands, bad coffee, and a range lane at the edge of daylight, you want the first shot to feel boring in the best way. Test it cold after real carry. Let the results speak, not the brochure. Bonuses are coming up, and one of them enjoys chaos more than it should. Chatter from counters said these things come back. I took a lane, a cheap notebook, and 300 mixed rounds. Brass first, clean through. Then steel until the box was empty. One lazy feed on a sloppy reload, logged, repeated clean, moved on. No tuning, no part swap, no magic. Just a pistol eating what people actually shoot when shells aren't friendly. Ever trusted a story behind glass more than ink on paper? Put this gun in place where rumors die. On a bench with ugly ammo and a log you can hold. The page matters because it saves you boxes and afternoons trying to prove a safer choice under the same conditions. Bring a notebook and test your next session the same way. Judge the result, not the rumor, or you'll trade training time for arguments that don't print. Next one, buy speed the honest way. The price hurts, the buzzer decides. Same day, same ammo, one drill that counts. My compact needed 5 tries to land a clean run. The XL did it in 2 and stayed there. That gap is no flex. It's fewer resets, steadier hands, and a brain that stops bracing for the next mistake. Ever notice how your third attempt gets sloppy because you're already frustrated? This is the opposite of that. The rhythm feels earned, not lucky, and the sight picture stops arguing when your breath gets short. When a pistol reduces attempts, it refunds boxes and evenings you would have spent chasing the same clean under the same par. That's why this belongs in the bag, even if it never sees a podium. It buys back composure when you're tired and the timer is merciless. Run the drill head to head and count tries. Let the number make the chase. Choose arguments and you'll donate to pride. Choose receipts and you'll know where your time went and why it came back. Last bonus prefers crud over polish. Listen, if your logged results beat mine under the same test, I'll flip a rank on camera, period. Same conditions, clean and fair. 500 rounds, real stoppage count, one honest cold start, and tell me the ammo you ran. Bring receipts, no excuses, no edits. I'll show your card on screen next time and your pick moves up. Until then, choose from the pistols that cleared the rule. Dirty, cold, and on whatever ammo you can actually buy, and stop thinking about your gun. This is your boy Steve, and them's the rules.